should know the news. Tell you our views. Yeah.
And welcome to Scotchgaming Talk Show episode 4. This is 16th of September, and we're here to talk to you about the games for the week, news, and all the shit you fucking love. With us again for the week, we have the people you know and love, Shannon Arad Miller.
Hello, everybody.
We have Liam Fistlord.
What is going on, guys?
And today we have a new co-host for you. He'll be here as a regular from this week on, pretty much. Nick Abdullah, do you want to say a few things about yourself quickly?
Yeah, sure. Let's see, I work in a video game store full-time. I have a wife, I have kids, which reminds me, kids, turn off because I'm pretty sure these guys are going to say lots of bad words. Kurt already got that started.
We need the viewers.
Yeah, I play everything console, pretty much. Not a big PC gamer, although I have been known on rare occasions to get on a PC game. And that is about it. My spare time, I do comic books too, and I'm currently doing a series called Game Guy in Game Informer magazine each month, so even in my spare time I'm drawing video games, so it's all video games in my life pretty much.
That's really cool. How long have you been interested in video games for? Since you're a kid, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Funnily enough, I used to be like a really hardcore PC gamer back when 486s were cool. I don't know if anyone remembers when that was cool. But yeah, I got tired of the constant sort of, upgrading and not having my graphics card be up to scratch every 6 months when a new game had come out. So I kind of switched to consoles at about the Microsoft Xbox kind of stage, and then got PS2, and from there I've been pretty much console all the way.
Exactly. And what do you think you can bring? Because I know you work with Shannon. Shannon always brings a lot to this this talk show. What do you think you can bring? Do you think you can bring more than Liam?
Hey, I can fist things. No one can bring more than that.
We'll have to see if I can bring more than Liam. The fifth lord. I'll do my best to bring something different to the show. I'm a different demographic too. I'm a 30-something, so I think I'm a little bit older than you guys. So maybe I can provide the older gamer perspective.
Exactly. We're glad to have you and glad to see what we've got to talk about for this week. We're just going to go straight on into our first topic. It's one that was pretty controversial. It's been going on in Australia for a long time. The Australian R18 rating. We got a first look at it this week. Looks fairly disappointing. Who wants to take that away? Who's interested in that?
I've got stuff to say about that, but if you guys want to go first.
No, take it away, Nick.
You sure? Alright, cool. The R18 looks like a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing. What we thought was going to be finally some decent adult games for us to play seems to me to be more of a let's dress up M15 and mean that the 15-year-old kid is not going to be able to get his Call of Duty Black Ops and stuff like that, which honestly I think is just going to hurt the gaming industry in the long run. I mean, that let's face it, 15-year-old to 18 is probably the main demographic, and to have them be denied and being told, well, come back when you're 18, I mean, how's that going to be good for anybody? Basically, the games that were going to get banned are still going to get banned. They're not going to get an R18. To me, it just looks like M15 dressed up as an R rating. Anyone else?
One of the things I read about it, one of the guys was saying that because it's you're actually interacting with the characters, that that you have to be certain maturity to do it. I don't know why they're talking about maturity in an R18 sense. I thought that was the whole reason they're making the R18 rating, so that adults can have games that are too mature for younger kids. I don't get why they're talking about maturity when it comes to that.
Look, that's right.
Yeah, look, as a parent, I would rather know if a game is too mature for my children. I mean, for me and Shannon, I mean, both working in the gaming industry, I'm pretty sure like all retailers are going to enforce it. If there's an R18, adults deserve to get their hands on it. It doesn't need to be just window dressing and that kids are going to get their hands on it. I mean, we have steps to prevent that. They do it with movies, why not with games?
Well, I think one of the things I was talking about is because movies were less interactive than games, and games are more interactive, that was one of their reasons. I don't particularly see it myself, but what do you guys have to talk about on that aspect. You got anything to say, Sean?
What was the question, sorry? I didn't quite hear it.
Well, one of the things that they were talking about in the, I think that in the when they brought it out, was that because movies are less interactive than games, that is one of the reasons why they're having to be more strict with it.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, it kind of makes sense, like, when you say it like that. Like, yeah, there is a lot more interactivity in games because that's what they are. They're an interactive form of media. And, you know, you go to a movie, you watch it, so you don't really have any control over the characters, the plot, what they're doing. In a video game, you do. So I can sort of see why they're saying it, but it still doesn't make any sense to the R18. Like, we all thought the R18 rating was supposed to let us play mature adult games. Like, that's why it's R18. That's why there's R18 movies. It's not because they want to make MA15 plus movies R18. It's because they need the R18 rating there for adults, you know, and to like sort of like lean away from, so people know that it's not for 15-year-olds. You know what I mean? But it looks like they're just screwing us around with the R18.
Isn't that still...
No, you go.
Sorry,
mate.
I was just going to say, isn't that still running under the assumption that kids are going to get their hands on these games? Because, I mean, an over 18-year-old adult playing an interactive adult game, I mean, is Australia saying that we are not mature enough to play it? I mean, you know, like that's just ridiculous. Like, it makes no sense.
It does.
Yeah.
It does really feel like they're trying to babysit us as adults, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they're doing that. What do you think they need to change about the R18 bill to fix it, or do you think it's sort of alright, or what do you think?
Oh, well, they need to make it an R18 rating. They need to have it, because the way that it reads is basically, like Nick was saying, it's going to be just like sort of brushed up MA15 plus. It's almost as if like, you know, the games that are popular nowadays that are MA15 plus, like, are going to be the ones that fall into the R18 category, like Call of Duty and probably and like Assassin's Creed, all those big massive games, which yeah, is just going to hurt in the end anyway. I don't know if they'll ever change it. Like, obviously this is, you know, this is passing through at the moment, or it's been written up to go through. So,
Well, it's sort of on the onus of the parent to as well. Like, beforehand, you have all these games that are on an MA15 rating, like Grand Theft Auto. Maybe some of the stuff you do in that is pretty violent, and all these other games that are quite violent. At least I think they could do a bit better having R18 strictly for adults, and they should trust that parents will be like, oh, that's R18, I'm not fucking buying you this game. Where instead they're just like, no, they're not trusting the parents to do their job, is what I'm seeing from it.
yeah, it seems like that way.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Alright, so we're going to move on from that topic. I know we're all quite irate about it. We're going to go, the Wii U got announced this week. Yay! Cheers! We're just going to take you guys... We're going to take you guys through a quick talk through of the specs and the prices. And just quickly I'm going to put them up on the stream so you guys can all see them in chat. There we are. Alright, those are the official tech specs. It launches November 18th. The price will be $349.95 for the basic set, and $429.95 for the deluxe set. I know you guys are going to sell this thing, so what do you guys think about the prices?
Oh, by the way, I'll just do a quick note. It's November 18th in the States. It's November 30th here.
You're right, mate. Sorry.
I was like super surprised at the price when it came through. Me and Nick were both pretty much aiming for between a $500 and $600 mark, but just going off by what the previous Wii was, because it was $499 when it was launched. Obviously, they've completely like surprised a lot of people because, you know, it's going to make it a lot more, I suppose, purchasable for Christmas times for families. I think if it was $600, that might parents might have lent away from it. But yeah, it's going to sell bucket loads.
Have you seen the amount of pre-orders that GameStop has had?
No, I haven't.
They've had a bucket load in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's really piqued the interest of everyone. Like, you know, without a date, you can't really do much. And we got the date, and the date's quite soon. Like it's less, it's just over what is it, a month and a half away. And with the price as well to back it up, like $429 with a game, and you know, a bunch of accessories, a HDMI cable, which none of the next gen consoles come with. And I think that was a really cool idea. Instead of, you know, families having to run out and buy HDMI, because pretty much everyone has some form of HD TV now anyway. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it's really cool.
Do you, Liam, do you think you'd buy this price? Or I know you're not, you were sort of a console person, then you sort of switched into a PC. Did you own the Wii, or do you think you're gonna buy this at this price?
Well, I personally didn't own the Wii. We have it in the house. I haven't touched it. But from what they're doing with the Wii U, I reckon I might actually buy it, because what they're showing off with their demos for the games really seems really interesting how they're going to put it all together with the touch screen pad and everything. I don't know, it looks like it will change a lot of the ways you can play video games on a TV now, pretty much.
I'm actually very interested. What are people mainly pre-ordering? The basic set or the deluxe set?
Yeah, the premium.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't had it running too long, so it's kind of hard to say too much. But I mean, yeah, premium seems to be the way to go. Like, I think good on Nintendo, like smart move with the price. It'll definitely be the thing to buy this Christmas. Has me a little worried though. In terms of the hardcore sort of gamer, like, yeah, they're trying to appeal to the hardcore gamer with finally having some third-party decent games up, but with it being so close to a next generation, it feels like to me that the Wii U's only just starting to catch up to what 360 was at 5 years ago, and the next version of 360 and PS4 probably going to blow it out of the water. I don't know, I'm a bit iffy for Nintendo, but definitely this Christmas it's going to go off.
Well, Wii hasn't really been that concerned about the hardcore gamer for quite a while now, if you look at the Wii, traditionally.
Yep.
We're just going to go through a quick rundown of some of the main specs. It's CPU, it's IBM power-based multi-core processor. It's got for its GPU, graphics card. It's got AMD Radeon-based high-definition GPU. For its storage, it uses internal flash memory, 8 gig for the basic, 32 gig for the deluxe. Media, it will support Wii U and Wii optical discs. Network, it can be connected to the internet, obviously. Fuck audio output, it's gonna have that shit. This video output will support 1080p, 1080i. So that's one of the big things we're gonna have now, HD version. Energy efficiency. Wii U utilizes specifically designed power-saving features to lower its energy consumption. Nearly all Wii software and accessories will be used with Wii U. That, I think, is actually quite big, because a lot of the PS3 tried to do backwards compatibility. But this seems like pretty crazy with all the old shit from the Wii being able to use with the Wii U.
Yeah. They did it with the original Wii as well, like for the first run of Wiis, like up until just about halfway through last year, they were still able to run GameCube games, and they had the controller ports even for GameCube controllers. So Nintendo's been pretty good since the GameCube and actually and onwards to have the backwards compatibility. Sorry, from the Wii and forwards for backwards compatibility. Obviously, their previous consoles were all cartridge, so they didn't have backwards compatibility. But it looks like it's going to be the first current gen system that actually has full backwards compatibility with its previous software, because even the 360 it has it to an extent, like it can play around 300 of its previous games, but pretty much only the main titles, whereas this looks like it's going to be able to play everything, and everyone has already 4 Wii remotes at home, so plug them straight in, so it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I gotta admit, the Wii is pretty popular in my household. I mean, kids, they just love it. Like, my son plays his Wii all the time. But see, I just can't get past myself taking it seriously as a gaming console. I just wonder if the Wii U's gonna fall into the same category, end up this family toy.
I think it will, to be honest.
I think, yeah, once the next gen comes along, it will.
I don't see
Yeah.
how it can compete really, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Families do need something that they can play as a family. Like I love playing all the Mario Party games. They're really fun. Like
Yep.
having a few drinks, playing Mario Party. It's a fucking blast. What do you think? I know in America, I think Shannon was saying to me before that in Australia you will be able to buy the sensor bar and the gamepad separately at launch, but in America it doesn't seem like you're able to buy the gamepad and sensor at launch. What's the go there?
Well, with the gamepad, I don't think that's actually going to be available anywhere
Okay, yeah.
for separate. It's we're getting the like
It's not gonna
the
come with
sensor bars like already come with the premium one anyway.
it. Yeah.
And like we sell like sensor bars extra, and
So
I'm
what about
assuming that we're going to get the other.
the gamepad then?
The gamepad.
Like not being able to buy as gamepad separately, only being able to have one. Do you think it's
Yeah.
because the games are only really designed to be used with one gamepad, and
Yeah,
if there are
I
extra
think
people?
that's
doesn't
right.
matter?
I think the games that require the gamepad at the moment don't really have a multiplayer aspect that requires them to have a second gamepad yet. So I think the reason why they're doing this is a way for them to make sure they don't put the market like into like a niche corner, like people that like they're like, oh, I really want to buy this controller, but it's obviously going to be quite expensive for the controller alone. I would assume, like I reckon it's going to be around the
I think it's
$150
about
mark.
200.
Yeah, close to $200. So I don't think that they want to have to like they're bringing out this like really like well I won't say budget but this cheap price all things considered, and I don't think they want to have to get people to have to worry about spending another almost $200 on top. They want to get in as many customers as they can quickly, and then sell it on the fact that it can use the Wii remotes as second controllers for all the games that are current. So I suppose like later on down the track there will be games that you'll be able to play two-player with the gamepads. But one of the interesting things that I had heard was if you plug in two gamepads into the console, apparently it actually makes it only display at 30 frames per second instead of 60 for games that would normally be at 60 frames, because it has to draw twice as much processing power, because those screens that are on the tablets are actually high definition, like they're very good, like really good resolution. So they were showing off a gameplay demo of Black Ops where the person was playing as a second player on his screen, whereas the other guy was playing on the main screen, like they were doing like co-op. So
I think Shannon's hit it. I think
Yeah.
Shannon's hit the nail on the head with that one. I reckon it's tech issues, honestly, because since when has a game company ever worried selling us too many accessories or too many
Yeah.
extras? I mean, thinking about the Wii, remembering back to that launch, I mean, I remember months and months we could not keep Wii remotes in the store. Like they were just selling like crazy. There was months of back ordering and just trying to get people. And if they bring a second gamepad out now, I mean, they'd have the exact same thing. I mean, why would they turn down all that business if not for the fact that they haven't perfected it or got it going perfect yet? That's what I think, anyway.
Yeah, I think you're
yeah,
actually
kind of makes
right.
sense actually.
Also, one big thing about any console's launch is the titles that come along with the launch. We didn't really know that many of the third-party titles beforehand, but now we sort of got a list of them. What do you guys think about the first-party and third-party titles that are coming out at launch specifically?
Honestly, I'm racking my brain trying to remember what the actual launch titles
Well,
are.
you have
That's
like
how
Zombie
little...
U, Arkham City, those are
A
some
lot-
big
a lot
third-party
of
ones.
them, yeah, a lot of them are games that are obviously already out. Like you've got your Call of Duty, Black Ops 2 will be out by then. You've got your Batman, Arkham City. I mean, a lot of people who already own consoles are not going to be too phased about those, I don't think. Zombie U seems to be the one game that's actually, well, that's a
looks pretty
lie.
sick.
Apart from Mario Brothers, which, let's face it, Mario's been the same for years, but that's not a bad thing. Like, I love Mario in any form. But Zombie U seems to be the one game that actually has me interested. I mean, if that is a really good game, I think that has potential to really sort of solidify it in the hardcore gamers' minds that this is a real hardcore machine, not a casual toy. So I'll be curious to see how that goes. Like, I hope it's a really good game, because that might actually buy a machine.
But then you fall back to all the first-party ones, like they got the Miiland or whatever it's called, and all the Pikmin and all stuff, and they look very casual.
Shovelware, I think, is the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's the Zelda? Like, why is it not launching with the Zelda?
Oh,
Or
well,
something like that.
what's for Mario U, Shannon, do you know that's not a launch title? Is that right?
New Super Mario Brothers U.
Yeah,
That's
is
a
that
launch
a launch title?
Yeah.
It is a launch title. Good move, Nintendo. That's an awesome move. You sell machines just based on that. I mean, I think Nintendo's been riding on Mario's back for a long time, honestly. Yeah. Sometimes I think they need to be thinking more about making good IPs and not innovations like movement and gamepads and all this stuff. I mean, when's the last time they come up with IP? Like,
but then again, like how popular Zelda is hugely popular. They release a new Zelda game. People buy Nintendo's console specifically to play like a Zelda game or something like that. I mean,
totally.
What other IPs can you really say that do that? Like maybe Halo would do that, or something like that. Nintendo's got some great IPs. I think they need to focus on making those really good.
Yeah, but it's been so many years. I mean, essentially we're getting games that have been around for 30 years. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, I play them and I love them. But I don't know. It's just that they're running on nostalgia. You know, like it seems like the only really great games are the ones that come from Nintendo, and there's just a lot of crappy games that just bring the whole thing down.
Well, I think it's gonna be the thing that'll tell is what developers can do with this second screen that you can hold in your hands. I mean, what innovation can they bring? Developers have always been good when they've had something new to play around with. It'll be always at the start. Every developer will just try and make something that forces it in the games, and eventually I think developers will sort of figure out what to do with it, what it's used for. I think we'll actually have some great games that come out for it, which could really innovate the games.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of menu inventory screens on it, I think, which can easily be done by pressing start on any other machine, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, there's that little bit of ease of being able to just touch your object and it coming up, but not enough to make me go fork out for a new console.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Liam, you looking forward to any of the games that are coming out?
At the moment, only Zombie U. That's the only game I haven't seen interest in.
Do you think you're going to buy the Wii U to play it, or?
I wouldn't just go out to buy it for the game. There would have to be more than just the one game for me. I wouldn't spend $400 just for one game. They have to come up with some more hardcore IPs.
Very expensive game.
Yeah, $400 for one game? Nah, I don't think so.
Alright, we're going to move on. Hands up. Who owns an iPhone?
How are you supposed to see their hands, Kurt?
Well, we have webcams, mate. You just don't have
Liam's always got his hand up.
You've got your stuff, mate. It's alright. You own one.
Alright, so are you guys looking forward to the iPhone 5, mate?
Nah.
No,
Why
not at all.
It's just an iPhone 4.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Like, I would get it if I was like soon to be running out of tracks, just because you know a phone is like the McDonald's of the phone world.
Now,
And
hold on a second. I'm going to show you some gaming graphics from one of the new games that's coming out on the iPhone 5, and we'll see if you change your tune. So you guys hold on for a second. You're going to see a new video from, I think it's Real Cars, Real Driving, or something like that.
Real Racing 3, mate.
Real Racing, mate. It's a game. It's got cars in it. It's got cars in it, so it's going to take you on a short little... There we are. Play. Alright guys,
Cool.
that's some pretty sick music. Come on. But, what do you think of the graphics? For an
Pretty
iPhone
amazing.
game. For an iPhone game,
Yeah,
they
it was
were
really good.
they were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you don't think having this the ability to make games that look sort of like that will be
Well,
enough
I don't
to...
know anyone that actually physically goes out just to get an iPhone for the gaming at all.
Yeah,
So,
phones strike me as a casual gaming thing, not a real, machine to get it for the
Yeah.
games.
It's impressive that they can do it, like, without a doubt. Like, looks incredible. Like, it's so close to being, like, current gen console graphics, you know what I mean? Like, that game looks really, really good. But, yeah, I don't think by them showing off, like, oh, this is what the iPhone can do, this is the games that you can play, I don't think it's going to persuade people that never were, like, into iPhone to go and get it, really. They're just going to go, I'm going to play Real Racing 3 for the next 4 years with this iPhone. Because I'm stuck in a contract and I can't get out of the cunt.
Now, I completely agree with you. But do you think that gaming on like a touch interface, do you think it's going to go somewhere in the future, or will it become more hardcore, or what do you think about that?
It does have really interesting ways for gaming. Like, there are certain games that work extremely well on the touch interface, but like, it can't, like, racing games, okay, yeah, it can work with racing games, because it's got the accelerometer, you can turn it like a wheel. It makes sense for a racing game. But it can never really do proper adventure games. Like, it brings up those stupid virtual sticks. They don't even work. Like,
Virtual sticks are the worst invention that mobile gamers have made.
See, the thing is, I don't think phone gaming is going to be something that gets, like, as crazy as they think. Like, it's just because you don't buy the phone for gaming. You buy it because it calls people. That's what you want it for. You do get the gaming as sort of like a side offer. Do you know what I mean? Like, now you can play cool-looking games, but you don't buy it for the games. So,
See,
I think...
yeah, the phone gaming is like, I don't know why it's such a missed opportunity with the PSP. You use a gaming console with a phone in it. People don't want to carry around multiple things in their pocket. You know what I mean? If there was actually a handheld that made calls, you would buy that for the games, and you just happen to have a phone along for the... but yeah, I mean, you buy a phone for a phone, you don't buy it to play games like
That would be
Shannon's saying.
really cool. I would love a handheld that just made calls on the side.
Yeah, you're not going to carry two things in your pockets. No one's going to do it. The first person to come out with a handheld console that makes phone calls, they're going to make billions.
Yeah, instead of doing it the other way around, like, they had that stupid... What was it called? The N-Gage. What a failure that thing was.
Yeah, that went well.
Like, that was, like, touted, like, that was a phone, but it had the possibility to be a gaming console at the same time. That's not how you do it. You want to market it as a gaming console, but, hey, you can make calls out of it if you get the 3G version, do you know what I mean? Like, they had a 3G model of the Vita. Like, they could have easily, set it up with phones, but oh well.
They should have.
Womp womp.
They should have done it. But whatever. Little Big Planet. Vita. Strict date broken fairly early, you guys were saying?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I guarantee you that street date was broken in a big department store somewhere where they had a casual who didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that stuff happens all the time. It's a little earlier than normal. I mean, usually it's a couple of days before, but yeah, that guy got fired. Tell you that for nothing.
So don't break street dates if you're working at a department store. You're getting shit.
Yes. That is the lesson, kids.
Now, Valve continues innovating with their Steam Big Picture mode. There are a few things that came out of this. One, it looks fucking sick on a TV. Two, it's getting around the problem of being able to install games onto certain drives. Before Steam Big Picture mode, if you use Steam, you had to install it on one drive, and all your games had to go on that drive, which made it very difficult for people who ran SSDs and had different drives for different things. And also, this helps out people that are using Steam on a TV, a huge TV, where it's very difficult to see the writing. Valve done it again?
I think it's a really cool idea. Like, the best thing about it is it's free. It's part of the software that you download for free anyway. And, like, Steam is the biggest. I think it holds 70% of the market share for PC games. So that's including retail as well. So by giving it the option to actually set it so it's almost like a console interface. Have you seen it, Nick?
No, I mean, like I said, I don't play a lot of PC,
Yeah.
and I don't know much about Steam. I mean, I've always been a fan of Valve, but
Yeah.
yeah, when it comes to Steam, I'm pretty much a noob.
It's kind of like a Xbox dashboard. Like when you
Okay.
start it up, like it's got all your buttons. You can actually maneuver the actual software with like an Xbox controller or something like that. So they're making it so for people that eat there's a lot of people that have their PC connected to their main TV. They might be living alone or whatever, and so they'll be on their 42-inch and to like maneuver around, like Kurt was saying, with a mouse. It's kind of tiresome and it's very small, especially if you're far away. But now you can actually launch from a controller and play it obviously you just continue on, and you can even purchase, you can do everything that you can do normally with Steam, but just in a lot more user-friendly environment. And plus it also has still the built-in web browser, so it's a full-fledged web browser, which means that if you do have your PC connected up to your TV, you can actually properly watch YouTube videos, go on Twitch TV, which none of the home consoles do. I think Valve are doing a really good job of trying to break into that home environment, because most PC gamers, you're in a separate room to the house, you're sort of in your little PC world, but now they're trying to make it so it's more of a household thing. I think that's really cool, but without making it like a console. You know what I mean? It's still a PC. You don't have to pay any extra than what you already have. It's free. It's part of the software. You can try it out now. And it's just a really cool way of them giving something extra to the users. I think it's awesome.
Sounds like a win to me.
Yeah,
Liam,
it's
did
definitely a
you
win.
you used to play your PC on your TV, didn't you, Liam?
Yes.
Would you have used? Would you Were you looking forward to something like this?
Well, like Shannon's a lot more user-friendly. It would have helped a lot more. Because there wasn't... Oh, sorry, go on, yeah.
Go and continue, sorry.
I was just going to say that the way that they had it was basically just like how Shannon was saying, more for your own personal space sort of thing, like your monitor and all that stuff. With
I think it would be
that,
good
now,
for people as well that have 27-inch monitors and higher as well. Seeing your screen,
I've got
Kurt,
a
your screen's
27.
massive. And, when I sit in front of it, it dwarfs me.
Yeah, but you get used to something like that big.
Yeah, you get used to it, but I think by switching it to big picture mode in Steam, it'll just look a lot crisper. It's a really cool design as well. So
I'll have to try it out.
I think for something like a 27-inch or higher, it's perfect. Obviously for lounge room, it's awesome.
Yeah, what do you have to think about the other aspect? I know you have an SSD, Shannon. I do not know if you've run into this problem or not of having to install on a certain drive when you don't want to.
To be honest, I didn't even know that Steam didn't let you do that, because I've never had a separate drive until recently with the SSD, and when I installed that, my computer stopped working, so...
Yeah, well...
very soon afterwards. So, obviously, it's a very big help, because SSDs are becoming very big, and they're getting a lot cheaper, so a lot more people are getting them. And, having the ability to run your games faster through Steam is what you want to do, So, yeah. It's a good thing. But like I said, never knew that it wasn't in the original anyway.
Alright, Liam, this was one for you, mate. Funcom's ex-CEO is under investigation for insider trading. Now, I'll explain to you guys the brief story of what happened. Funcom's ex-CEO, he was the CEO all during the development of their latest MMO. Obviously, it's called The Secret World. I play it. He quit
cool
as
game.
CEO the day Secret World launched. Then, shortly after Secret World launched, he decided he wanted to sell all his shares. He managed to offload, I think it was around 3/4 of them, and now he's under investigation for insider trading because the shares have dropped from when he sold them at $14, and they're $2 now or something like that. The shares have dropped tons, so they're under investigation, and it's been happening recently. Zynga's people got under investigation for that as well. A lot of people seem to be under investigation. What do you guys have to think about that? Go, Liam. All yours, mate.
Well, for the fun one, I think the reason he started to sell them was that I don't know. This is my personal opinion. I think he knew that it wasn't going to succeed, and he just wanted to sell it off, so he had nothing left to do with it.
But that's not really legal, though.
Sorry?
That's not really legal.
Oh, I know it's not legal. It's what he did wasn't right or legal. It was really dumb of him to do that. But the reason I think he did it though was to get rid of what was left of the shares, so he wouldn't lose any money at all. I think from the beginning, people were thinking that the game wouldn't succeed as well as what like WoW and all that stuff was going. Nothing's going to be as good as that.
Yeah.
And with all the MMOs Funcom made, they could sort of see what was gonna happen, like with Age of Conan and everything, how it failed.
Well, that and the fact
But
that
yeah.
Guild Wars 2 just came out shortly after Secret World came out, and some of the developers this week said that endgame isn't really going to be a big part of the game. Like once you get to 80, there's not going to be. They said that the endgame isn't there. They want the endgame to be the entire game. Do you think that's a model that an MMO should take? Do you think that's going to be that's a successful model? I don't particularly think so.
Can I ask a question just about Guild Wars 2? Having not played it myself, is there much story to Guild Wars 2, or is it pretty much just a big grind?
There's story in it. Yeah, I think there's story quests you do the whole way. You have your personal story, which takes you all up to 80, I assume. I haven't played it myself, but
because it makes me think of Star Wars Old Republic, which is one of the few PC games I actually played for a while, which the story was awesome, but from what I hear, didn't have a lot of end game at all.
Not in-game story-wise, no. Had no in-game story-wise. But
so is it just going to be that there's not a lot to do at the end of it? Is that the problem?
Yeah, well, they're saying that...
basically, that's what they wanted to go with. They wanted to actually market it as a game that wasn't there for the end game. Like, that's what everyone knew about it beforehand. Like, they said, our game doesn't have end game. We want basically the whole experience to be fun throughout. So, like, you can do pretty much anything that you want in that game at any level. Like, it's extremely, like... user-friendly, like you just jump in and you can do whatever you want, like you can go do PvP and you get like the best gear like instantly and all the abilities, you don't even have to level your character to do it. So, yeah, I don't know, I think it's a weird thing, like I don't know how you're supposed to keep players playing.
Yeah. The thing is, MMO players they're a different breed of players. They love to destroy shit fast, wreck like the content and get to the end. Like even though Diablo 3 wasn't an MMO per se, people are still raving on about having no in game.
Yeah.
I don't see how it's going to
Can I say, Guild Wars 2 right from the start made it very clear that there's not going to be any ongoing costs. So I think it's sort of unrealistic in a way to expect all this additional stuff. I mean, you've paid for one game, you're getting the gaming experience, you're getting like probably more hours than you'd get out of the average game. I don't think it's such a bad thing to say, hey, well, once you're done, that's it.
Well, it's not a bad thing, but as an MMO, they really want to, I guess, keep players interested in the game so that they can sell their expansions. Yeah. I'm just wondering whether they will be able to keep people interested if they have nothing to do at the. I know they have PvP to do at the end. I know they're PvP, but not everyone's a PvP player.
Yeah, I'll admit it's a weird business model. Like, it's very strange for an MMO, but I'm not having like a monthly charge. I mean, can you expect them to keep working around the clock with add-ons and things? I don't think you can expect that. I mean, you know.
Well, that's one of the reasons. Like, yeah, I don't think you expect it. That's why I think people are gonna. Eventually, something's gonna happen where the people that are rushed to the end game, they're like, it'll be the same thing that's happened with MMOs recently. I'm pretty sure. People are just gonna be like, oh, where's the end game? And like, well, we told you there's not that much end game. What are you doing there already? And we're getting burnt out.
Yeah.
I know, it's very interesting. Onto the Zynga topic. Recently, I don't know if you guys heard that EA filed a lawsuit against them, saying that they copied, like their Ville franchise was a copy of The Sims and all that sort of thing. Zynga recently just hit back EA and filed like a counter lawsuit, saying all this shit, saying like, I don't know.
Good on you, Zynga. Like, file that lawsuit back. I mean, who's EA? What, EA? Are you going to copyright life? Good job, EA. You didn't invent life. Sims is just a copy of Life, so maybe Life should be suing EA. I don't know.
Don't give him any ideas.
Hey, we should sue EA just for like.
Yeah, they copied my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I could live my life in that game. And I can say, hey, I just lived my exact life in your game. You owe me money.
Right, do you reckon this Zynga... What do you think of the whole thing? Shannon?
It's stupid.
Yeah?
It's a stupid thing. Yeah, I don't even know how, like, to be honest, like, the first, like, I suppose, lawsuit, the one that EA pushed to Zynga, like, that's just saying, like, oh, you copied The Sims. Well, just having a life sim doesn't actually make you, like, the owner of all life sims. Like, there's plenty of them around nowadays. Like, yeah, the original Sims was, like, the first one to do it properly. Yeah, there's been like tons of games that like that came before then. Like there's tons like tycoon games and stuff like that. Yeah, they might not have been focused on a family or running a household, but they were like theme park tycoon and all that sort of stuff. They all came out around the same time or before the Sims. So I don't know how they can have a lawsuit and then to counter lawsuit saying all that. I don't know. I think it's just stupid.
Well, thing is, Zynga sort of has copied off a lot of other games, a lot of small developers as well. I think if those small developers had the money that EA does, I'm fairly sure that those developers would have tried to file a lawsuit against Zynga as well.
Don't EA own Zynga?
No.
Were they going to?
I don't know.
Were they going to acquire them?
They
I
tried
thought
to
they
buy
did.
them and it didn't work out, so they said,
Right.
hey, let's sue them instead.
Okay, that's what's happened. So they're annoyed.
They
Moving
might-
on.
They might be annoyed.
Hmm.
Obsidian.
They're annoyed.
Look, Zynga's the most original company in the world. Like, a lot of games are very similar. But, I mean, they're all those sort of cheapo budget, freebie, microtransaction games. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's pointless to them, honestly. EA, just go...
Zynga's
sit
gonna
on
die
your
without
bajillions
EA
of
anyway.
dollars. It's not like you don't have a bajillion dollars anyway, EA. Like,
Mhm.
really? Do you need some more?
Well, EA can never have enough money.
Never hurt.
Yeah. I
Zynga-
say let the baby have its rattle. Let Zynga have a little bit of money, okay? You don't need all the monies.
Hey, if I was EA, I'd want all the monies. Alright guys, I know you guys are really big fans of Obsidian game, the game developers Obsidian. They're trying to raise 1.2 million on Kickstarter to make a new RPG titled Project Honey, and while you guys are talking about it, I'm sure you guys looked it up, I'm gonna go have a look and see how much they're up to.
Cool. Alright, I'll start it off. So Obsidian, the guys that did Knights of the Republic 2, they did Fallout New Vegas, they did the original, like, basically, like, the best RPGs available ever on PC, Baldur's Gate series and Neverwinter Nights and stuff like that. Like, they're pretty much like the RPG guys, along with, BioWare and Bethesda. Like, those three companies have been, like, doing RPGs for years and years and years, and they're trying to do this new Kickstarter project where they are basically bringing back the fundamentals of, like, classic old school RPGs, like
Just a
top-down
quick update,
perspective.
Shannon.
Yes, mate.
Currently they're sitting at 1.2 million.
Alright, so they just beat it.
They've done it. It's been out a day, I think.
Yeah, one day. So there you go, guys. We're getting, what is it called? Project Eternity now. It's coming out. But yeah, so like they're trying to bring back those like conventional and classic RPG elements, the top-down perspective, deep character storylines, which is really cool. Like, the other game they made also was Planescape Torment, which is still considered one of the best RPGs, if not the best PC RPG ever made. So, to have them coming back and actually doing something that, fans have been asking for years. Yeah, it might not be like a sequel to Planescape. It might not be a new sequel to, Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights, but it's the next best thing. It's a brand new IP. It's set in a proper fantasy world, they said. So like, a classic Western style fantasy with magic and all that sort of stuff, which is going to be pretty awesome. I'm definitely going to play it because it'll be cool. It'll be cool.
I can't wait for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks-
same.
Are you guys going to pledge to it?
You know what? I love Obsidian. Like, I love everything they do. Obsidian is awesome, but I'm confused. Like, why are they on Kickstarter? Do they need to be on Kickstarter? Is everybody going to start jumping on Kickstarter? Are we going to have EA on Kickstarter soon? They've got lots of money, but hey, why not have people give them money to make their damn game?
Maybe they'll sue Kickstarter.
Maybe they will sue Kickstarter. But
I think the
I'm
thing
confused. Like, is Obsidian struggling? Is that what the deal is?
I think the thing
Do
is
they really need the money?
These games cost a lot of money to make, and they've basically always been the company that gets brought in to finish off stuff that other companies have done, like Code 2 and stuff. They had to finish off that, and they got pushed. So they're not actually like a huge developer. I don't think they have the sort of money to publish their own game. Like,
Okay, well, as long as they're legitimately, like, that is the claim, and it's not just going to become, you know, everybody's way to get easy money.
Yeah, they're kind of like a freeform developer because they pretty much develop games for anybody who's wanting them to. Like the last game that they did, even though it wasn't very successful, was Dungeon Siege 3, and it was a separate team from their core team, but they did that for under Square Enix's publishing. Before then, they did, you know, they had Alpha Protocol and that
Which
was from
wasn't
Sega.
great, but Fallout New Vegas, I love Fallout New Vegas, although, I mean, obviously it was very based off Bethesda's stuff, but
Yeah.
KOTOR 2, I mean, I love what Obsidian does, I really do.
The way that I see it is, like, I don't think... It's probably that they don't have enough money to be able to do what they want. The thing is, the money always comes from the publishers. Like, it's very hard for them to go to a publisher nowadays and say, hey, we've got an idea for a game. We want to make a classic style RPG. Now, obviously, to people that are, you know, around our age or older, are going to know what those style of RPGs are. RPG has changed a lot. RPG nowadays is like first-person shooter like styles now with like Mass Effect, or, you know, they're incorporating a lot of different elements from other gaming genres. To actually go to the publishing company and saying, we want to make a classic style RPG, they're going to be like, yeah, well, where do we get the money from? Like, who's going to buy the game? Like, are you sure this can make money? But by getting the backing from Kickstarter, they can guarantee that they'll be able to make it for the players that actually want it. And the cool thing is, like, and the thing that I really love about Kickstarter is, usually when they do this, by pledging the money, you also get the product. So, you know, it's basically setting
$20
up a pre-order.
$20
you get the game
you
for
get the
$20. Like, you can almost go wrong, especially with someone like Obsidian. Like, they're a massive company anyway. They've been making games for like 30 years. Like, you know that they're not going to back out. They're not going to bring out a crappy game. Like, if they're really devoted to it, the game's going to be awesome, and hopefully it'll be like their classic RPGs.
Liam,
It's almost them striking out on their own for once.
Yeah,
exactly.
That way.
That's another cool thing as well. They don't have to worry about, you know, the constraints of a publisher. Like, they're doing it purely out of what they want to do for the gamer. Like, they even said, like, jump onto our forums, tell us what you want, tell us what you think. Like, we're like giving directly back to the player. Like, it's basically up to the player what they want the game to be like.
Yeah, I'll buy it. Guarantee I'll buy it. Like, not an issue.
For sure.
I trust Obsidian and what they've done, so...
Yeah.
Liam, have you ever played like an old school RPG like that? You're a bit younger than us, so...
I played the original Fallout, which was really good.
Oh, wow, yeah, they made the original Fallouts too.
Yeah.
They were really good developed. They sort of get pushed aside.
Yeah.
It's like Bethesda and stuff nowadays, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
If there's one thing you could ask Obsidian to put into the game, what would it be? Into an old school RPG.
Less bugs.
Put less bugs in.
Do you mean like bugs, or you just got...
Get them to put in a poster that there's less bugs in this game now.
How about you, Shannon?
No, like, when I say less, I mean like less glitches and fucking errors in the game, because the last few games I played of theirs have been like, riddled with bugs.
There's a few reasons. They usually have really short like development schedules. The publishers hire them to push out a game super fast. Yeah. And then that's a lot of the reasons why there's a lot of bugs. Because if you want a game without bugs, you have to do a lot of like quality testing, a lot of testing of it, and they just don't usually have the time to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that can understand that, but that also puts like people off it as well. Because I went off them for a while after Fallout New Vegas. I was,
you know
like,
what? Like,
very.
Yeah, go on, Liam. Finish. No, you finish.
Oh, I was just gonna say that it put me off after playing New Vegas to play like Dungeon Siege, because that still had bugs in it as well, and I don't know if it was as bad as New, so I didn't bother playing it for a while. I just left it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, look, you know, Skyrim, anybody who's played Skyrim knows that is a buggy mofo.
Don't get me started on Skyrim, Nick.
But it is still my favourite game. It is my favourite game to date. I am still playing it almost a year later. If a game's really good, you can kind of forgive some bugs, especially judging by how complex those games are. I mean, you know, they're not buggy just for the sake of being buggy. They're huge worlds.
Oh,
I mean, that you can't possibly product test every area of that game. Like, it's just impossible.
Yeah. Like, some of the bugs are just because you've done something in a certain way that, you know, the developer just didn't see would happen.
You know what though? Sometimes sometimes bugs in game can actually make the game funner.
Like
That is
Tribes.
true.
Yeah.
Like
Can happen.
Tribes, the surfing mechanic in Tribes was actually a bug. So when you watch people like with the new Tribes and they're all sliding down on their jetpacks down the mountains and building up speed, that was actually a bug in the original game, and they kept it as part of it. So that's pretty cool. But you're asking me what would I put in the game?
Yeah.
I want there to be co-op. Not in the sense of like Diablo co-op where it's like just a loot fest or anything like that. I want there to be like a really cool like co-op where you play as one of the other characters that are part of the story. Like, I don't just want it to be a tacked-on player. That'd be really cool. Like, imagine playing with like a friend all the way through the game. That'd be really cool.
Now that you mention it, man, that would actually be really cool. Like, you're both your stories. You're both
Yep.
main characters in the storyline, but you're going through it at the same time.
Because one thing that they do in the old school RPGs is you've got a party of players, like they join your party like, you know, like a Final Fantasy game or whatever, and they've all got their own core stories. And it'd be actually cool if they could develop the story through that second character as well, instead of just showing it from the main person's perspective to see what's happening to the other characters. It'd be cool if, like, you know, someone's playing the second character, and you get to see them sort of grow as a character as well. I think that'd be really cool. Plus, it's always fun to play co-op games.
Yeah, man. How about you, Nick? Anything you'd like to bring into it?
If I was going to bring something to it, I wouldn't want it to be too linear. Not in the sense that, I mean, obviously it's an RPG, it's going to be pretty open, but I mean, in terms of where the story can progress, you know, I hate when an RPG's just got a straight out story. No matter what you do, it ends at the same place. I like to create my adventure and not know what's going to happen, and it just gives replay value when you can have different adventures. So, I don't know, just not a bogged down story. I want to have options in where the story ends up.
Well, I think with Obsidian, you won't have to worry about that. They've been doing that. It's like the original Baldur's Gate and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
I think you're right. They won't do that.
They're always about their branching storylines where you've got to choose. And the cool thing about it is they do it seamlessly. It's not like, you know, with modern games nowadays, it's like the red and the blue option, like Mass Effect. You know, the good and the bad.
Yeah,
it's not like
I hate that.
It's seamless. Like, it's like you make a decision. Is it good or is it bad? Who knows? But we'll see what happens with it. Just like they did in The Witcher 2. Like,
yes,
which was also a very much a classic style RPG.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, it
so,
was awesome.
Oh, it was.
I just love that the entire second chapter of that game could be completely different depending where you went.
Yeah.
Like, you could have a completely different game with that. That was awesome.
Yeah. That sort of stuff is exciting.
Yeah. I want a lot of that. As long as they do stuff like that, which they will, yeah, I'll be happy.
Alright. So I think we've pretty much talked out the Obsidian sort of thing. Onto another game that's sort of been in development now. The first gameplay videos of War Z. This is not cinematic. This is pure gameplay of actually someone playing the alpha build of War Z. If you don't know what War Z is, it's sort of like DayZ. Apparently, it was in development before DayZ came out. But
This is going to be hard to tell.
we'll have to see, because it looks very much like
Maybe
like
EA will
DayZ.
sue them.
Yeah. Alright, so
we were thinking of zombie games.
I'm
We
gonna-
were sued.
I'm going to quickly put on just a video. It's about 2 minutes long of War Z. Just take a watch, 2.5 minutes of your time. Watch this. Wow, that club is very spiky. There's a lot of There's a lot of nails on that club.
There certainly is.
He needs to watch out and not smash his own head in with it.
I don't know, man.
Look, he just jumped on the ground instead, and it would look like it was going to stab him in the head.
Someone's getting sued over this game.
EA were going to put nails in their next game.
Spiked clubs? We thought of that 20 years ago. Oh dear.
Holy God, there's a lot of... This looks very Daisy-ish, I gotta say.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like, I don't know. Someone's gonna get sued, someone's gonna lose their jobs.
Nah. Everyone's doing zombies right now. I mean, you know, is it really a big deal?
Just
Yeah,
looks like
true.
a third-person Dead Island.
So, are you guys watching the video, or...?
I cut into it just before. My net's not too great, remember, at the moment.
I forgot about that. So you guys basically saw most of the gameplay there. I'm just going to stop it right there.
Yep.
I would say it does look very, very much DayZ-like, but the inventory looks a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it does look
inventory,
pretty good.
the weapon management system looks better. It looks... I'd play this over DayZ, to be honest.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
considering that DayZ's a buggy piece of junk at the moment. Not can be helped though, it's still an alpha or beta or whatever it is.
Well, it's a mod.
Yeah. I suppose, like, it looks cool. Playing, like, you know, a multiplayer zombie game where you're surviving in a zombie apocalypse is kind of different to all the MMOs that we see. Like, all the MMOs that come out, even though they try to be different, they're all very similar. It's all questing and stuff like this. This is purely... Excuse me. This is purely, like, you know, based on survival of your character, like... and isn't it permadeath?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, once you die, you die. That's a very different thing than what's ever been done in MMOs.
Although Zombie U's doing the same thing, I think, too.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of
That's
different in
the normal-
Zombie U.
That's just a standard single-player game, though. You can do some co-op, I think. But, yeah, I don't know. How can you really, like, fault them? Like, whoever came first, DayZ or this, like, zombie game is a zombie game. If you're surviving a zombie apocalypse, you can't really do too much different to the other guys. Like, you know, you got Dead Island, first-person survival zombie game. Like, you've got Dead Rising, you know, zombie survival. Sorry, continue.
No, I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure the zombies in Sims 3 Supernatural, so
Oh.
there you go, EA. EA, it's another lawsuit for you. In on that.
Do you know if
Oh,
it's a PC exclusive, or...?
I
Have you
think it is. I think it is PC exclusive.
No, that's one thing. I think, like, I generally like shooters to be only PC, but obviously no, it's not the case. I think this would be a great game for, like, as an MMO to be multi-platform.
On a console.
This
I
would
think-
be
Yes,
easy.
please.
Yeah.
Would you
I
play
would
this
I
on
mean,
a
if it's on
console?
PC, I would play this on a console, totally. Like, I hate missing out on awesome games because they're only on PC. I mean, sometimes I understand because of the, you know, the technical reasons. Like, I mean, PCs are so much more powerful than the average console these days. But I mean, it looks to me like something like this could be ported over.
Something like this
Yeah,
could
it's a
easily be ported
third-person
over.
adventure game, basically. So that works really well on a controller system. Obviously, real-time combat. So it's not like turn-based or anything like that, you know. I think it's something that would work extremely well on a controller and on a console. Plus, it doesn't look like visually like crazy as well. Like, it's something that could easily be ported to a console, I would say. Yeah, I think it would work well on console, definitely. And it'd also be like there has been like DC Universe and stuff like that, which was going to be more of a conventional MMO. But you know, having something like this as a stepping stone for console gamers to get into MMOs would be really cool.
Yeah, exactly. From something that is probably not going to be on the consoles to something that is going to be on the consoles. Shane, you know what I'm going to talk about, right? Looking forward to it. Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
Talent trees came out. Classes came out. You can make your talent trees. Have you made yours? Tell us about it. Tell us everything.
Alright. So, talent trees came out last week. They'll put it up there so you can make your own, you can build your character before the game even comes out. You can sort of like see what's available. Similar to what like a lot of MMOs do, like World of Warcraft and Star Wars and everything. They'll show you like, you know, what the talents are for the next expansion, so you can sort of like play around with it. Plus, even while you're playing the game, you can like, you know, do like little models before you even go into the game to do it. So that's really cool. I'm going to be playing Zero, which is the sniper / assassin. I'm probably going to go the assassination route because I always play a rogue character. Yeah, it looks really cool. Like, I think that I've made a build where I think I will one-shot all the enemies. That's what I hope anyway. Other than like the skill trees, obviously the game is actually looking kind of incredible. They just came out with a review on IGN a few days back. They gave it a 9 out of 10, saying, you know, a really great game. It improves a lot on the original. One of the biggest gripes that people had, and I know that Nick had it, was where because it was structured like a MMO, style interface and stuff like that, like the characters that you'd speak to wouldn't speak back. It was all text based.
You stole my words. I was going to talk about that.
Go for it, man.
Go for it, man.
Yeah, segue
Well,
for
one
you.
of the big problems I had with the first one was that it was all text based. No, like literally, I got to admit, Borderlands 1 was an amazing game. My only gripe was that I'm very story driven with my games. I don't play a game unless it's got story. And when it got to the stages where, I mean, yeah, you had Claptrap talking a little bit, but most of the missions were all text-based. I don't want to sit there and read why I'm going on this fetch quest, you know what I mean? But if somebody talks to me and says, hey, I need you to do this and this, all of a sudden I want to do the fetch quest. I don't know, that was my only gripe with the game, and it sounds like Borderlands 2's fixed that, so I am super excited to play it. I actually didn't know about the talent tree thing, so that sounds pretty cool. I'm definitely going to go check that out myself, so yeah, but really excited about Borderlands 2.
Have you bought the game yet? Or pre-ordered it or whatever?
Yeah, I've pre-ordered it.
Nice.
Yeah, can't wait.
Join the club, mate. So, what we're going to do, I'm just impromptu saying this right now. When we start playing, we'll all play together, and we're all going to stream it.
Yeah.
Release day.
What are we playing on, though? Because
we're playing PC.
We're playing PC.
Exactly, so I won't.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, sorry.
Well,
That's
we're gonna do it anyway though. Release day, we're gonna stream it. So whoever's watching this, make sure you watch my stream. We'll be streaming it. I'm gonna be myself. I don't know. You guys might not. I might not seem like a person who likes to heal and be like friendly and help other people out. But I'm
You're the friendly guy of the team.
I'm totally that guy. I'll be playing that girl. So I think she's like a psionic girl, whatever his name is. And she has a lot of shields, a lot of like CCing, a lot of healing. I'll definitely be playing that. I'm gonna be the party healer. I'm gonna help my friends out. Liam, what about you, mate? What do you want to be?
I know exactly what Liam's gonna be.
There's no fist character. Well, there might be actually.
No, he's gonna be
No,
the
that's alright.
gunzerker
I'll make
straight
a fucking character.
You're gonna be the gunzerker.
I'll be the
aren't you?
soldier.
Yeah, the gunzerker.
No, the
I knew it.
soldier.
You're
No,
gonna be
that's not
Are you gonna be
Berserker.
the soldier guy, the one that does all the turrets and stuff?
Yeah,
Or
that's
do
what
you-
the Gunzerker.
Yeah. Oh, so you're gonna be something a little bit more interesting.
I'm gonna be the sub, and then there's the Gunzerker who's like I think his name's Salvador, who's the
It's
Gunzerker
just like
who can
straight up
dual
like
wield.
damage. Yeah. Straight up
Yeah,
guns.
I like having guns and everything because in the first one that's what I played, and I really loved it. So I'll definitely do that. I've already made my class and everything as well online,
Oh, you've done yours too.
and basically, yeah, the torrent shoots rocket acids, so rockets full of acid. So that's my win strategy there.
It's not enough to blow you up. We have to melt you too.
Yep. I like to see the flesh melting.
Yep.
Yep.
This is sick.
Hey,
Alright.
if I could get fist out of the rocket, I would.
Fist rockets. I could see that.
Yep.
Well, what do you think of the talent trees anyway? Like I know we just talked on a little bit, but do you have any opinions on what the talents are?
Alright,
What you're seeing?
I want to first tell you the thing that I really liked about it. I liked the fact that there were way more talents over the first game. Like the first game probably had about 5 tiers. This one is more in the conventional sense of an MMO, like there's actually a lot to choose from. I also love the fact that there was the ability to obviously have extra points for the other 2 trees as well. So it's going to have like leave people a lot of room to make some really cool builds. Like
It's very WoWish, I think.
it is, yeah. Did you ever play the original game?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, well, it is. When I played it, it's like you're playing an MMO, but you're playing it on your own, or with 3 other people if you're playing co-op. Like, the numbers bounce off the enemies when you shoot them and stuff like that. It's very RPG MMO-ish, and the talent trees even were the same, but they look like they've really tried to improve them, because there wasn't very much variety in the first game. Like, all the talent trees sort of felt similar. Whereas if I'm choosing Zero, which is the assassin guy, I can go a tree that's totally devoted to guns, to sniper rifles, and bonus damage with them. Or then I can go the more knife focus, like with melee weapons, which is what I'm going to be doing, so backstabbing, stuff like that, which basically makes 2 entirely different classes, which I really, really like. I think that's really cool. It makes it a lot more diversity. And it'll be really fun when we're playing co-op for Shizay.
Alright. So, from a game that is not dead to me, to a game that is dead to me. Star Wars Old Republic begins testing its high-capacity servers. Something it probably should have done at launch. Now, what do you guys have to think about this? Basically, they're now making, like on the test servers, they're now bringing everyone onto one particular server. I don't know why they fucking did this for launch. I think this is something all new MMOs should actually do. Like, Secret World sort of does it where you can group up from anyone from any server. Guild Wars 2 does it, anyone from any server. There's no excuse for having like all these segregated servers anymore. It segregates the community, and if you have low population servers, all those people are going to quit.
Yeah. So they're testing high capacity servers, so they're trying to merge servers, are they?
Yeah, they're trying to make it so they have one huge server, I think.
Oh, so one world.
Yeah.
So basically just one world. That's actually, it's a good idea now, but like you said, it's something that they should have done a while back. Like, when they saw the numbers drop from, in the couple of millions to like a million-ish, that's when they should be like, hold on a second, maybe it's time that we sort of start consolidating and stuff like that.
They should have done it from the start. That's one thing Guild Wars 2's done really well, is having those overflow servers where like everyone can play at all the same time. You always have someone to play with.
Yeah. Where it spills over if there's too many people on one server, it goes to the next server, doesn't it?
Or they go to a certain overflow server.
Yeah. So it's like you're in a persistent world with everybody instead of it being segregated, which is cool. Like, even in WoW, there's like, even though WoW's like still ridiculously popular, there's still a ton of people that play it. Like, even some of those servers are dead. Like, I think
MMOs a lot of them are dead.
Yeah, I think MMOs should actually start to think, like, we want to keep people in our game, which means the social aspect needs to be there. It's the most important part. So it's a good move, one that should have been done ages ago.
You don't play many MMOs though, do you, Nick? What do you have to think?
No, I played a bit of Star Wars though. Again, as I said before, I was all about the story, and I think the story was top notch. But yeah, everybody says it's just didn't have the end game. But yeah, I mean, you kind of answered one of my questions in that, are those high capacity servers feasible at those early stages? But it has an overflow effect. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, Guild Wars does.
It drops to another server if it gets too full.
Guild Wars does that, yes.
Well, I mean, was that something that they even had, or is Guild Wars the first one to pull that off?
Guild Wars is the first, I think, to pull that sort of system off.
Yeah, because, I mean, it definitely sounds like it would have been a good idea at the time. It makes me think, why wouldn't they have done it unless, they didn't know how to do it properly, or...
Possible.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you got to say Star Wars Old Republic, it's also going free to play soon, so that will hopefully bring a lot of people back. I mean, I might even go back and take a look. Like I said, I'm not much of a PC, but a big Star Wars nut.
If it's free, I mean,
if it's free, why not? Exactly. Obviously they're going to try and make their money off microtransactions somehow. I'm sure there's going to be some way to make money off it.
There's a lot of ways to make money off it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, might be a little bit too late, but it's worth a shot.
I think it's a good move considering they're going free to play, because
I mean, look, can I ask this, Kurt? If they come up with an expansion, are you going to jump on board that again?
Alright, myself personally, no, I don't play free to play games.
Even with an expansion, knowing that you're a Star Wars fan too, you won't want to see what the story is, what the deal is with the Emperor.
You make it sound so good.
Well, I mean, it's a big secret still. I mean, that's the big thing. Who is the Emperor? What does he look like? I mean, none of that is resolved. I'm assuming that's all expansion stuff. I mean, I know I'm
Look,
going to be there one way or another.
I kind of want to see my character, like, what happens next. But I don't know, I like to stay firm to my beliefs on not playing free-to-play
All right,
games.
well, you can find out from me. I'll tell you whatever happens. Don't worry.
Liam, you played Secret World, which came out. They had, their servers, they have servers, but they have a lot of interaction. You can join players from any server, pretty much. You've seen that. You've seen when we've dropped into one instance from another. What do you, like, and then you played, like, WoW, which, you tried out WoW, didn't you? Which had very segregated servers. Did you notice any difference between the two, or?
Yeah, it looked very empty to me. Maybe that's because I was at the beginning of the game. But it just, since there's so many servers, it's just some servers look more empty than the others. Like, there's not a bigger population. But what they now, I've been in the midst of that before. When DC Universe went free to play, they did that as well on the PlayStation. They merged every server as one massive one. So I was there when they did that. And once that happened, it just looked like the world was huge.
Yeah.
There was just so many actors and everything there.
Actually, one cool thing
And
that
it
Guild Wars did do is, like, with that whole, you know, basically the one server type thing with the overflow and stuff like that, like, the leveling areas apparently are just, like, chock full of people. There are people everywhere. Like, that's what you want an MMO to be like. It's going to be like that at the beginning of WoW's new expansion. There's going to be people leveling everywhere. It's going to be really cool, but, you know, once people stop leveling, you might see, like, one person every half an hour. Do you know what I mean? And then, like, it loses that fun. Like, at least Star Wars had the storyline to back it up. Yeah, it's a good idea that they're doing it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Alright, Shannon, you like RTSs, yeah?
I like what, sorry?
You like RTSs.
I do. I play StarCraft.
What do you think of this new Planetary Annihilation, a game? It was on Kickstarter. It made $2.2 million from the Kickstarter. I'm going to show you guys the clip, this intro of the video that they did.
Am I going to just talk over it?
Do you have it there?
I'll just talk over. I'll just talk over the clip. Just run in the background.
Okay.
There's not too much exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, I'll put it up for you guys. Give me a second. It's got music, so sorry. Actually, watch it first.
Alright, cool.
No, it's got voices,
to
man.
march into the vast darkness of space. Battles rage across the cold void, annihilating planets, moons, and asteroids. Cosmic obliteration for a purpose long forgotten. Technology has been captured, assimilated, refined, and transformed into brutally efficient, self-replicating mechanisms of war.
Now, I know I was saying, he just crashed an asteroid into a planet. That's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Now, the big question is, it looks fucking awesome. The graphics look very alpha-ish, but that could be better. Do you think? Did you watch the gameplay, the video just then, Sean?
I just watched it then as it was playing on the stream.
Do you think it can
looks...
compete with like an esports such as StarCraft?
Well, what's the go? There's a free to play.
I'm totally not sure, actually.
Yeah. Well, it's got a very interesting mechanic. I can tell you that much. Like, your more traditional strategy games, Command and Conquer, StarCraft, Age of Empires, it's all based on one flat plane, and you go and you farm your minerals or you know get your wood or whatever in Age of Empires, and you build your base and you go and attack the enemy. But this is completely changing up. From the look of it, it looks like you actually send like mining droid asteroids and stuff like that to get like your stuff, and then you can like also hijack asteroids and shoot them in as using them as weapons.
That's
It's
a
a very
spectator sport. Whoa. That
Yeah,
could be
very interesting. Yeah, very cool. That trailer looks like it's not actually gameplay. It looks like it's just it's like a pseudo gameplay pre-rendered trailer. Like they've just done it to make it look like it's being played because it looked a bit too smooth, I would say.
Yeah, I
Like
agree
when
with
when
that.
he was zooming out to that planet sort of thing, like it was, yeah. But interesting, very interesting concept of a strategy game. Like, it's very different to current strategy games, and that could be a cool thing. Like that could, well, obviously a lot of people are interested in making $2.2 million. I don't even know about it, like, but obviously a lot of people do. Who's it made by?
I can go look it up for you. Give me a second.
Yeah, bring it up, because I'm not.
We'll go.
like,
Actually, I'll bring it up on the stream for
stream?
you guys that are watching. Give me a second. We'll do the old Google search.
Best friend.
Planetary annihilation.
It's Liam's only friend.
Is it?
Yep.
He
Still more
finds-
friends than Chris.
Still more friends than Chris.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
I've got the stream open, so I'm reading it right now. So scroll down. Where are we?
Where are we? Ooh, there's a lot of cool things, actually. I don't know if I can actually see. who it's made by.
Okay. From the company that made Total Annihilation. Right, now I
Oh,
understand
okay.
why people put in $2.2 million. Alright, so I'm not sure if anyone else played it, but I did. Total Annihilation on the PC was like a very well received, yet sort of like niche strategy game. Had a couple of different ones. There's Total Annihilation, there's Total Annihilation Kingdoms, which is the one that I played, which was all focused on magic. It's actually a really cool game. Now I see why it's so popular, because obviously it's the next game from them, and they haven't had a game out for years. That makes me excited. Knowing it's them guys that are making it, that's cool. It's really cool. Now I'm excited.
Do you, Nick, do you watch any, do you know anything about RTSs? Seeing some of this, would you watch something like this on TV, maybe on a...
Well, look, I might not know much about PC and RTSs, but I know enough about Blizzard to know they have a stranglehold on their genres, whether it's World of Warcraft and MMOs or StarCraft on RTS. If this beats StarCraft, I'll eat my headphones.
Don't copy Lee.
He eat phones? Sorry, I was unaware. But yeah, no, seriously, like, yeah, it'll have its fans. It'll do all right. But, I mean, StarCraft will be the clear winner in the end. I mean, they've got expansions coming. StarCraft's not going nowhere. That'll be the esport of choice for a long time to come. I'll be very surprised if they take it.
Alright, yeah.
Just saying.
That's pretty good for that. Move on to some good news for the week. Some heartfelt news from some people who love games. The Cities of Heroes community unit, last week we talked about how their servers are shutting down for good, obviously. They raised $1,000 to take the developers of Cities of Heroes to dinner. That says something about
That's
the community for MMOs. That says anything about the community for MMOs, that says something.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I just thought I'd bring it up there. It seems pretty cool. I fucking like it. Alright. So that's pretty much the news section of our podcast over. It was pretty good. We're going to talk what now. We normally do an impression of a game for the week, but we haven't really played any games this week, I don't think, between us.
I
So-
played something.
What do you play, mate?
I have been playing Skyrim. Now, I know what you're going to say. That's old news.
That
but
is old news.
I was one of the poor saps who played Skyrim on PS3. I put my 100
Don't
plus
get me
hours in,
started.
and I missed out on my Dawnguard and my Half-Fire because apparently they're too stupid to port it. I don't know, they game developers a lot. Anyway, I picked up a copy on 360 reluctantly, I downloaded my Dawn Guard and my Half-Fire, and I started playing, and I was pissed off at first. I'm like, why do I have to start again? This is crap. But I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it. It's almost like playing a completely different game. Totally into it again. I've gone Vampire Lord for the first time around, and it is badass. There's so much extra stuff in there that it's just worth it. I'm hooked again. Like I said, almost a year.
Yeah.
I'm back into Skyrim, so. And I definitely will play Dawn Guard. I've got my save game all ready for playing the Dawn Guard way instead of the Vampire Lord, so I'll definitely explore that option too.
Excellent.
But love it. That's all I can say.
Skyrim's a good game. It is a good game. I loved it when I played it. I probably should get back into it sometime again. It's just very difficult with all the games I have to play. So what we're going to do now, we don't normally do this, but I'm going to ask each of our hosts to tell me about an upcoming game that they're looking forward to that comes out this month, and tell me specifically what they're looking forward to about it. We'll start with Liam, and we'll go around to Shannon and Nick. So Liam?
I think everybody's going to start Borderlands 2, just for the pure part that it's a really fun game, and I can't wait to do co-op.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's the one thing you're looking forward to. Alright, Shannon?
I'm going to say probably Torchlight 2. I like the first game. Co-op where it's at. And then very close to Borderlands. Like, just those two games got to be awesome. Still looking forward to World of Warcraft, I suppose, as well.
Shan, you have one answer, mate. Stop fucking hogging the spotlight.
Alright, Torchlight 2.
Alright, Nick. It's all yours, mate.
He's a liar. He's looking forward to Borderlands 2. He's just saying that because we said it. I'm going to say Borderlands 2, and it's because NPCs talk and don't give me text frickin' panels. I can't wait for Borderlands 2.
Alright, and for me, your host, I am looking forward to World of Warcraft, Mists of Pandaria. Very much looking forward to it. The one reason, the only one huge reason I'm looking forward to it, Challenge Mode Dungeons. I want to compete in Challenge Mode Dungeons. I want to be the world's best in Challenge Mode Dungeons. I will be the world's best in Challenge Mode Dungeons. You will see me on the leaderboard. You will see me on your TV screens. I will be a god. I'm not
cuddly panda god.
I am not. I'm actually very confident I can achieve this goal. I'll do it. All right. So, anyone else got anything they want to say before we do our shoutouts? No. You're all good. All right.
All good.
We're gonna do our shoutouts. We'll go around again. This time we'll start at Nick and go the opposite directions. Do your shoutouts for the week, mate.
My shout-outs for the week. I'm new to this. What am I doing?
Well, you just if you have a Twitter, if you have a Facebook, shout out your comics on Game Informer.
Yes. Read Game Guy. Each month in Game Informer, and write to me at Nickabs Comics on Facebook.
All right, excellent.
Oh, and Hikes. If you watch this whole thing, you're in trouble.
All right, Shannon, all yours, mate.
Yeah, you can contact me through the internet. I haven't really been playing any games, but I suppose when I get back into them next week, I'll be able to give you all the game names. I completely run out of them in my brain. But also plug in good old My Favorite Episode once again on Facebook. Just search us up. Got a gig coming up in October very soon, like in the next couple of weeks, which I can't wait for. Gonna be fun.
All right, Liam, go for it, mate.
Catch you guys all later. Again, check out the band My Favorite Episode because we're pretty fucking cool. And I'll fish you later.
Excellent. And
ouch.
And you can reach the podcast. My Twitter is @Krazak, obviously on Twitter. You can also email the podcast at scotchgaming@hotmail.com. And then you can message me on Twitch, www.twitch.tv/Krazak. Message me there. Also, I generally stream during the week, play some Secret World, play some other games. That's where you can also reach me.
And we'll be playing Borderlands 2.
Twitch. When Borderlands 2 comes out, you'll be able to reach us again on www.twitch.
We might even do some Torchlight 2 as well.
Torchlight 2, also on Twitch. We'll all be doing that. So remember, come to my channel, watch me play games. when I put this up on iTunes, this will go up on iTunes, go up on YouTube. Search for it there. Add me as a friend on Facebook. I usually add everything on that. And that's about it, guys. Thank you for your support, and we'll catch you again for episode 5 next week. We're out. Catch you later.
Scotchgaming talk show. We talk about things gaming related. We'll let you know the news. Tell you